In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to convert your church sermons from YouTube to TikTok. You gotta first go to your YouTube channel and get your video. So I'm at the Genesis Upper Room Church YouTube channel, and this is the example that I'm going to be using today. And so first, I looked up the video that I want to download. So I go to options here, the three dots. I click it and I download it. Okay, so once it's been downloaded, I'm going to go to Final Cut Pro, and then here is the video software I'm going to be using. You do not have to use Final Cut Pro, but this is the best one that I've been using for the video software just to make everything easy, but you can use any software as long as it has the same features. All right, so first I go to Final Cut Pro, and then after that, I'm going to press on New Project. Okay, so this is the most important part. So usually the video software will do like a video format, but you want to do a vertical format for TikTok. First, you got to go to the video format. So as you can see, it's at 1080, which would be great for video, and some people do 4K. But the one you want to use is vertical, which is the TikTok dimensions. I want to click on the highest resolution, but you don't have to do it. You can do 1080, that one's fine too. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just input my media that I download from YouTube. And as you can see, it did not translate very well. You can see how it is still in that format, the regular video format. And so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to actually make it a little bit bigger. Now, keep in mind, the more you stretch out, if you're trying to go all the way, quality actually decreases in the details. So you don't want to go all the way. And so as you can see here, I'll just show you real quick without the sound. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. The reason why it wasn't too bad, this camera that they use is really expensive. It's a high quality camera. And so when I actually stretched out the video file, it didn't look too bad. But if you're using like your phone and then you were filming horizontally and then you converted it, it may look really bad. But if you use like a high professional camera, it may translate well. But usually what I like to do, I don't like to stretch it all the way unless it looks good. For this demonstration, it didn't look that bad, but just to help everybody out, this is what I normally do. So I'll go back and then I'm gonna actually decrease it down. And I don't mind with the black bars on the bottom. Usually I'll go up to like 120. This is what I'll usually do. Now there's a couple reasons why I do this. One is I don't want to stretch it so much because if you saw in the demonstration, the speaker is getting out of the frame. So this person's moving so much that they're getting out of the frame. So if I did this, you can see that they're going to move out of the frame. So what I like to do, I like to, for this person especially, just do it enough where it's a little bit bigger, but not too much. So 120 or maybe even 125. Let's go for a higher risk here for 125 and try to align it to the middle. Now you can do the top if you want or the bottom just to be creative, but I like to do the middle area. And then what you can do here, you can add the text on the top or the bottom, which is what we're going to do right now. Now, usually when it's uploaded to YouTube, it's already been edited with the color grading, and also the audio has been edited as well. So I'm not going to worry about that. But if you haven't done that for the YouTube video, this would be a good time to do upgrade the audio or the color grading. So for the next part, you have to find a spot on the clip that you want to use. Now, usually TikTok, at the time of this making this video, you can go up to 1 minute, you can go up to 3 minutes, and I believe now you can go up to 10 minutes. And so now you want to just find the clips. Now, keeping in mind that your audience may not want to stick around for 10 minutes, you may want to just do 30 seconds. That may be the most effective way of just reaching your audience. So I'm going to try to find around 30 seconds to 1 minute. All right, so I found a spot near the end around 12 minutes and 15 seconds. And so I'm just going to cut this. All right, and now what you want to do is find the end point. Okay, so I found the end point. It's around 30 seconds here. And I just found a spot where I feel like he's completing his thought. You don't want to leave it on a dragging point. You want to leave it where it's comfortable, where it could be a clip on its own. After that, what you want to do is that you can actually just upload this as it is. This is actually perfect right now. But I want to add some text to it, and I want to add some little bit of advertising on the top. Okay, first I'm going to go to the top area, All right, so I put their logo right here, and so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just make it a little bit smaller, and I'm gonna put it on the top. And I'm just doing this just to personalize it. Since there's a blank spot, I just want to do something creative. So this looks pretty good. Maybe align it to the middle because I'm stingy that way. So let me just put that up a little bit. Okay, that's a lot better. All right, so you can put your logo up here if you want, or you can put the name Genesis from Church if you want, or the name of your church. And I just put it up there just because there's a blank spot. You don't have to do it, but I just recommend using all the space that you have available. For the next part, you want to just make sure that this is going across the video, so I'm just going to drag them. I'm going to zoom in and making sure it's all the way in the beginning as well. Alright, so we can even stop here, but I want to even go further with this video and actually put some text. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the text on what he's saying. And this might take a little bit longer, but it really is worth it because the audience is reading the text and it just helps out a lot. Okay, so for the text I'm going to use, I'm going to go to Final Cut Pro and I'm going to use Build In and Build Out, and I'm going to use Custom. This is just a regular text. Nothing's been added or taken away. So, okay, so you see that? So this is where the title's at. I'm going to put on the bottom, and this is the part where you can utilize this bottom area. Usually if it's like a full screen, you can actually just put it on the screen, which would be actually right here, pretending that this was full screen and no black bars. But since there's a black bar here, yeah, this is even more effective because there's a lot of space right here. So I'm going to utilize this. All right, so now all you have to do is type it out. So I'm going to do one section for you. Okay, so this is the way that I'm going to do it. So he said, spend some time with the Holy Spirit. And this is a good indicator of how long it will be. So I just put it near or to the alignment of audio part. And then I'm just going to write what he says. Okay, so I wrote the text. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Okay, so that's what it looked like. And that looks pretty good. And pretty much what I want to do now is just to make the font a lot better looking. So I'm going to use a different font style. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to use Gotham. And white looks pretty good, but let's just play around with this. I want to use yellow for this one. All right, so I added yellow. Usually what I like to do after this is add a little bit of drop shadow. Okay, so I used a little bit of drop shadow. I did white, and it's barely noticeable, but just pops out a little bit more. And this is pretty much a setting that I did for the drop shadow. But feel free to adjust it. You don't want to be too crazy about it. Just make it nice and just for a text touch-up. Okay, for the next one, I noticed the words are kind of close together. It's not a big deal, but I do like it a little bit separated just because it's easier on the eyes. So I'm going to use this thing called tracking. And let's see if I just separate it just a little bit. Again, it's not too noticeable, but it just helps a little bit just to make it look better. Okay, so I did 1.38. That looks a lot better. Now this is what the text looks like. Let's look at it again. All right, so that looks great to me. Okay, and then now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pretty much just copy this and then just add it to the other audio sections. And I'll come back and show you the final result. All right, so now I'm back, and now I'm going to show you the final result.
Spend some time with the Holy Spirit. Let him reveal to you those things that he knows that need to be removed. Maybe the things you don't know to be removed, but he knows what needs to be removed. That can promise you tonight. As you do that by faith, God will meet you there. Amen. He will show you.
And a couple points before I end the video. Okay, so one of the things is that the speaker, I just helped him out a little bit just to make the text flow a little bit. So I'm going to show you real quick. So right here, if you can see it, I'm just going to zoom in. I cut some parts out of his speech. This video was actually 30 seconds long, but now it's actually shortened to around maybe 17, 16 seconds. And I want to just make the text as smooth as possible. Sometimes the text doesn't make sense if the speaker's speaking. Maybe he's often repeating himself. Maybe he goes off tangent and he starts to talk about something else. So that's why I helped out the speaker and just cut off some parts just to make it flow better. So after everything's done, you want to export it. So I'm going to export file. Again, I'm using Final Cut Pro, and then I'm just going to export it to my computer and upload it to TikTok.